All right, all right, all right.
Hello.
Hello, everybody. Let's make sure that you guys can hear us. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Proud Mary podcast. And before we get to talking, make sure if you are just now coming in, you're not already subscribed, you hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you can be notified when we are live or when we also have videos that post. I am Monique Je, and this is
92
and
Stag.
we are the two lovely
Hello.
ladies and co-hosts of the Proud Mary podcast, where we promise to bring it to you nice when we can, but rough when we must. And so today, as you guys see, if you see the topics, we generally like to stay in and do different topics on politics and law and entertainment and trending topics and even news that you need to know but you may not know because it's not on mainstream media. And then to wrap up the show, we always round down with our 92 Stags I Just Can't moment, and then Mo's Money Minute. So we're going to go ahead with no more hesitation and go ahead and get started. Our first area that we are doing today, and we are excited to share with you, is Let's Talk Law. Now, I don't know if
Mm.
you guys have been paying attention and seeing what was going on these days right now as of today with Miss Fani Willis. But we could not start off this podcast and not address her and how she's been acting a doggone fool in them Senate hearings regarding her handling and her and what's his name, her boo. So I'm gonna let Stag go ahead because she was ready to go and talk about what she thinks about this situation, and then of course I'm gonna bring in some clips of let y'all see exactly what I said she was showing and acting a donkey. But go ahead,
Hmm.
Stag.
So what I was gonna, when we were talking backstage, I was getting into the fact that people are focused on the wrong thing. They think that they're probing her about her relationship with Nathan Wade. Nathan Wade. That is a side product of what they're interested in. They want to know how much money did she spend, and there's I remember earlier on they were talking about the approval process for his hiring. She was supposed to get county approval. She didn't do it. Um, there was some way with the money, the way that it was flowing, that she was the only person approving his hours that he was billing himself for. So they want to know how much did they spend, and the legislative aspect of this that they're looking for is to put safeguards in so that somebody just don't have all access to spend whatever kind of money they want with no oversight.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the big picture of it. But yeah, she looked a doggone fool, and that man up there asking the questions was so calm, and he would
Yes, he
just let
was.
her rant, and then be like, "So you didn't answer my question. Is that a yes or a no?"
Exactly. It was actually
So,
pretty funny. Um,
hmm, she looked a fool.
she looked an absolute fool.
And all of that theater and smart mouthing and all the little snack, it was a distraction from the fact that she wasn't answering those questions they were
Uh-huh.
asking.
Yep, that's exactly it. And then it was what was more funny to me is because she was intentionally when they asked her to at the beginning when they asked her to talk about herself and who she is and what she had done. Hey Shahid, hey,
Hmm.
welcome in.
Hey, Shahid.
She and they were asking her, and she went through all this, talking about how who she is and what she did and how she accomplished this and accomplished that. And I was sitting here thinking like, all that sound good, but the way you acting right now is
Hmm.
definitely not a great reflection on any of that stuff that you call yourself bragging about right now.
Hmm.
But
She
she,
feels untouchable,
yeah.
and she's a racist. She's a racist. She's a
Oh
big
my
old racist.
God. Did
Oh,
you
she's a big old racist.
did you see did you see her continue race baiting?
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yes,
it
indeed.
was
She
real,
kept on with it.
it was something else. Like I could not I ain't never seen nothing like that in my life. I was trying to
But
get
she
to
wasn't really
a good
confident
point
when she
just to
wasn't
kind of.
talking. You could hear her heavy breathing on that microphone. She was like I said, deflecting from the questions, giving all of that, those sound bites that I'm sure CNN
Mm-hmm.
and all of them are going to be using of what she was actually saying, but really she was just not answering the questions.
None,
Or
not
she
at
was getting
all.
twisted up, and she's not very smart because she kept getting twisted up in those smart answers because she was too busy trying to, be smart mouth. She
Mm-hmm.
wasn't really thinking about the answers that she was giving.
Hmm.
So
Well, y'all, I know you may not have seen any of it today, so we want to share just a little snippet with you guys of how old Fani, Miss Graduate of the top law school and graduate of Howard University, how she was acting
and
on the
Emory
national stage.
University is not the top law school in the country. She need to quit
She
lying.
said top 25. That's what she said. All right. Let you
Oh,
guys in the chat, if you're here, can you please let me know if you make sure that you can hear this playing through the screen?
I can't hear it. Can't hear it, Mo.
Can't hear nothing.
Nope. I thought you could hear me. I was saying that.
You can't hear anything?
No. I think
Oh,
when you play video, you have to mute yourself and then the sound will come through and then come off of mute once you finish playing it.
okay, hold on. I think this will be it.
I'm gonna
Hold
mute
on.
too because I got an echo. It's an echo.
Okay. Hold on a minute, guys. We had this
in the
person.
2020 election. So it's your testimony today that you and Mr. Wade did not have any conversations prior to you taking office relative to an investigation into the 2020 election.
Don't answer that. That is a deliberative privilege of what goes on in a district attorney's mind and the process it goes
She
through.
wasn't district attorney.
She was.
Prior to being sworn in, she was district attorney?
No, she was not, but you asked.
So I'll return to my question. Prior to you being sworn in as district attorney, is it your testimony today that you did not have any conversation with Mr. Wade about investigating the 2020 election?
Do you want to answer?
It's a dumbass question.
I know it is, but go ahead and tell it because it occurred after she took office, but go
I
ahead.
didn't know that he was going to commit a crime prior to me taking office. Like, factually, it's impossible.
Okay, thank you. Would you agree with the statement? Actually, I'll skip that question. When did you decide to hire outside of your office a special assistant district attorney for this election case?
Oh, Lord. So when I became the district attorney of Fulton County, the office was in absolute chaos. I have to take you back. Can you hear me?
It's a little, I was gonna try to turn you up if you don't mind moving forward.
When I became the district attorney of Fulton County, the office was in absolute chaos. And I mean every level of chaos. On the ground, the carpet was molded and there were holes in it and it was disgusting, a disgusting environment. There were boxes in offices, some to where you couldn't open the door.
Okay.
I remember walking.
Okay. Is it just me, or does this have anything to do with the question he just asked her? Hold on.
Absolutely nothing to do with it. Absolutely nothing. The deflection. I got echo.
Like, okay, do I have an echo now?
No.
Okay, I got it. I got this now. What I need to do? Okay. Yeah. I just and then you see the way she was sitting, linked in the seat, and and then you want somebody, Madam D.A. or this night, but the way that her body language, I just had to
Hey,
pause.
bro.
I had to
Mm-hmm.
pause for that
With
moment
your
just to
respect.
y'all in the chat. If y'all
You
think
got
that
an
this is a
echo.
great representative of a highly ranked, educated district attorney of Fulton County, Georgia, if you think this display of how she's displaying herself is a great representation on black women, whatever you want to call African American women, please let me know what you think. Let us know what you think in the chat. All right, we're gonna go ahead.
Through the office before. I told you I fired 50 or 60, I don't know exactly how many employees that I felt were unqualified to do this work. That doesn't mean they were bad people, but they were unqualified for the positions that they held. Um, there were 18,000, write that down, 18,000 unindicted cases that went back 6 or 7 years that I was looking at. Not to mention another 10,000 indicted cases in the system. Now, some that the judges had heeded on judicial hold, but they were still there. So the office was in absolute chaos. And then I'm in the office on, I came in that Saturday, so that would have been day one. That was the day that I walked through the office. And I'm literally in the office that Monday or Tuesday, I can't recall now what day it is. And there's this phone call in the Secretary of State saying, oh, the proper venue to investigate this might be Fulton County. And so my priority became, and this is important too, there were 200 and something murders that had been sitting for years, families that had been waiting for justice for years.
Okay. Okay. I can't. I can't. So I'm
Nothing to
sorry.
do with the question.
The conclusion so far today was that she was a great deflector. She was
Mm-hmm.
disrespectful. Cause here I'm trying to get to this part where she was super rude. And my question would be is if she was in court and she was the prosecuting attorney and the defendants were talking to her in the way that she was talking, saying they not gonna answer something the way that she was doing, like would that wouldn't be okay? Am I wrong or right?
No, it wouldn't be okay. I don't
So
know why I got an echo.
hold on. So go ahead and say what you're gonna say.
Um, I still got echo. Can you hear the echo? Or is it just me? Can you hear it? Maybe it's just me. Let me see.
It's just you because I'm listening on through YouTube too, and there's no echo like it was
Okay.
before.
Oh no, I just put myself in my earphone. My bad. But no, that wouldn't go over well in a courtroom because um I don't think any real well she did it when in that hearing though, so we can't even say that she did it in the hearing about her being disqualified.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. But that's I guess that's where my biggest problem is because she would 100% want people to respect her and in the position that she's in, and she was 1,000% disrespectful to that guy. And then she kept trying to throw in, oh, he running for governor, so that's why he trying to do this and that. And then she was trying to say how. Let me see where I'm at now. See if
And although I had talent in the office that was being developed, each and every member of my staff had a priority. See, this is the most important case to you. Let me tell you what the most important case was to me. When I walked in the office, there have been two black children that had been killed, Sequoia Turner and Kennedy Maxwell. Those were the two most important cases to me as a DA. And I needed to make sure that those families got justice, but the cases didn't come with a bow on them. In fact, one of the cases was particularly not done properly. And so my priority became making sure I had the talent to make sure we got all of those cases done. If you're wondering, both those men are doing life right now for taking those children from us.
Certainly aware of the case and the autonomous zone and everything that happened back in that
Sorry, my face.
time frame. So definitely appreciate those murderers being behind bars. You didn't really give me a date range, but we'll just move on here. But you did consider Governor Barnes for this role. He's testified to that previously.
And let me tell you what Governor Barnes told me. Governor Barnes told me when he was the governor, he changed the state flag from the Confederate flag. And that as a result of him changing the Confederate flag to changing the flag to make it more inclusive to all Georgians, that the Ku Klux Klan sat outside his house and that he lived under threat during that time period. He told me that him and his beautiful wife had survived that, but that he was an older gentleman now. I'm going to say that nicely. He was an older gentleman, and due to the nuts that would come out of the woodwork if I was doing this type of work, that he was not at a juncture in his life where he could take those kind of security risks. He also refused to work for $250 an hour.
I can attest to that.
We've got some questions in here, Governor, on your rates, and maybe we'll get to.
Okay.
Is it
Okay.
anything?
Yeah. So, whew, I see it's Rashid. I'm sorry, Shahid. I just fixed it. Thank you. Let me know, Shahid, if it's good now. Let me take this out of here. Let me. I can't no more with Fanny. Like
You
they
know what I would like to know is, has crime decreased since she has been district attorney? Because she keeps talking about all this crime fighting she doing. Somebody get her a case.
would you like for me, the resident fact checker, to check and see if crime has decreased
I
with
was just
her
saying this is
being the district attorney? Because she really she too. I ain't got no problem with people being confident in themselves, but she is probably a little too confident.
she
And
was saying she's the best prosecutor in Georgia.
but if you was, well, you might be the best. I mean, potentially she could be the best, but she obviously is not that bright, because the way that she was doing everything and saying everything in regards to like how the money was being spent, and it just it was not smart at all for her to be so smart, like, especially when she know that she was having relations with that man. Now my question is, it's nothing wrong with them having relations, is it?
Yes, it's against their ethics
Okay.
in the Georgia ethics because he was a subordinate. Also, one of the questions that they tried to drill down is this echo. I got it was not an echo, but I hear myself. The why did she have to um why did she have to hire outside counsel, right? Because one of the questions they asked was, they have some attorneys in her office that get paid $200,000 a year plus $50,000 in benefits, right? Of all the attorneys that you have in your office, you couldn't have nobody was qualified to prosecute this case. So that's one of the questions that they want answered. Like, why did you have to even hire outside counsel? And not just one, but she hired three outside counsels. And the one guy, he wrote the book on Rico, but Nathan Wade was getting paid more than he was, and he's the one that prosecuted a Rico case. So she got to explain that.
He didn't have a lot of experience, period, though, wrong or right.
No, he didn't. He was a like a traffic court judge. He wasn't even a prosecutor.
Okay, that's what I thought. That's what I thought. Okay, I'm over here doing sound tests. Do you still hear echo for you?
Yes.
We
It's
don't
not
hear
an
no echo
echo.
though.
It's that I could hear myself really loud. I never had that problem before.
Yeah, because I'm
And
listening. We don't. We the people, as Grandma say, we don't have an echo for
okay.
you. So
Okay.
it
It's just
could
me hearing
also be because I
myself.
had my headphones set at first where I could hear what was going on, and that was driving me crazy. Hearing
Hmm.
myself talk in my ear and out my mouth. So look. I
Hmm.
can't help and tell and say what I did to change it, because I don't know what else is going on legal wise regarding things. What updates do we have, or do
Well,
you
I
have
got some.
regarding the birthright citizenship?
There is no new update yet, but in the legal field, this is something that I saw right before we came on.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it appears that they have released internal communications of
Mm-hmm.
the Justice Department underneath the Biden administration, and it showed that the FBI, the Washington, D.C. field office, had told the DOJ that there was no probable cause to raid Mar-a-Lago. And they said,
Mm-hmm.
let me see, because I gotta put it out here. They said, screw it, do it anyway.
So, and you're saying when they raided with that big issue, and they tried to do they were actually doing a suit against him then, where they was going through Melania's uh underwear
Hmm.
drawer and all that stuff. So
Yes,
now they saying
indeed.
that they
But it
wasn't supposed to do
turns
that
out
to
they didn't even have probable cause. But this is the interesting thing, is because this was in Florida, we have a better chance there.
him.
The judge who is still trying to hold them in contempt, even though the Supreme Court told them that he's out of line, he's still trying to hold them in contempt. Um, he also prosecuted some of the January 6ers. He also he's had his hands in a whole lot of stuff. Just say that. He's their go-to judge to get whatever they want.
Mm-hmm.
He's exposed himself, so
Mm-hmm. Um. Oh, we got to do too. I have been happy about. I've been listening to a lot of people, a lot of attorneys, and a lot of people who are on both sides of the aisle, who are kind of talking about just the fact that the key thing and what's so important in regards to this whole birthright citizenship thing is the fact that they added that piece, and subject to the jurisdiction thereof, and
hmm
and they're feeling like they never actually delved deep into why that was added, and kind of just went to the assumption that it was just meaning jurisdiction. You are on this land, so you are under this jurisdiction,
hmm
and but that's not necessarily how it would go, because that person, in order to, when you become a United States citizen, or you want to become a citizen, you have to swear an oath and allegiance to this country. So
hmm
if that has not been done, why, and we know a newborn baby can't do it, why would it automatically be given to a newborn child of parents who had not done it either, just because they were on this soil? And I've been listening to a lot of people, like I said, a lot more legally smart than I am, and that is what they're believing now, potentially maybe running through or going through the heads of the Supreme Court justices. Hey, Jabo. And so, but I wanted to ask, do you want to go ahead and put the link in and
Hey,
allow
Jabo.
one person to come up and join us if they want to come up and join the
Sure,
conversation?
sure, sure.
Okay, so guys, we have a few people
But
in here. We're not gonna let a lot of people up, but we are willing to let one person up. So I'm gonna put the link in the chat, And if you want to come up, you can wait in the green room and we'll bring up each person, so you don't have to feel like you can't come. But we're going to try to bring in one person at a time. So I will be putting that in. But in the meantime, Stag, you sent, and I think it's great to talk about this now too before we go into the next topic when we're talking in law.
Hmm.
You sent me the link about the SNAP fraud
Oh,
um, in
yeah.
Massachusetts that was found. How about you share a little bit of that with everybody?
Um, so basically, it's kind of like what we've been doing. I gotta take these off because I don't like listening to myself. I can't stand listening to my own self in my ears. So, there were these Haitian store owners who this is crazy too, that they were laundering, no, trafficking SNAP benefits. That's what they called it.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, they had very few groceries in their stores, and they had not a lot of space. It was small stores and not a lot of customers, but they were reporting that they were taking in 6 times the amount of food stamps
Mm-hmm.
as a major grocery store chain not too far from them.
Mm-hmm.
And they only had one cash register and all of that. So it turns out that they were allowing people to, I guess, cash in SNAP benefits for cash and also buy alcohol and other items that you shouldn't be able to buy with SNAP benefits. So I think they said $2.2 million was the number that they said. Let me see, that might have been another case. Oh no, that's another fraud case. I didn't get to send you that one. The SBA fraud, girl. It's fraud everywhere. Fraud is everywhere, under every rock. So, a warning to all of you who think that they're just looking for people who ain't working, or somebody selling their little food stamps. They finding these merchants too, because we all know that they do it with the WIC program. They allow people to buy or give them cash for the WIC stuff. So they're coming after these small store owners now. So y'all be careful spending y'all, because I'm sure they're gonna go back and look at everybody who has purchased, made purchases there, and start watching y'all activity too. Haitians. I can't hear you, Mom.
I'm going to put a little bit on just so people can hear a little bit of the details and see. So you guys, what we aim to do here is definitely go ahead.
And Saul Elisme for large-scale SNAP benefit trafficking, a scheme that turned a program designed to feed families into a multi-million dollar criminal enterprise. SNAP benefits are also known as food stamps. Defendants are charged with one count of food stamp fraud. These defendants decided to take it for themselves. These defendants exchanged SNAP benefits for cash, which they pocketed. Bonner, a naturalized U.S. citizen from Haiti, owned the Jesuela Variety Store. Elise May, a lawful permanent resident also from Haiti, owned the Saul Mache Mixe store. These two businesses were co-located within a single storefront in Boston. To be certain, these were not supermarkets. They were not full-service groceries. It would be a huge stretch to even call them convenience stores. In fact, the only thing convenient about these stores was how easy it was to commit SNAP benefit fraud. To put this in perspective, the Jesuela Variety Store is less than 150 square feet in size, smaller than some bathrooms. The Saul Mache Mixe store was approximately 500 square feet in space. By contrast, a supermarket can be 20,000 to 60,000 square feet in size, have a dozen or more registers, and employ numerous employees. Both the Disuelo variety and Sao Mache Mixte stores had one register, no carriages, no hand baskets, and very little food for sale. One legitimate supermarket in the same area as these stores redeems approximately $80,000 in SNAP benefits per month. Over the last 20 months, the Jesuela variety store was redeeming between 3 and 6 times that amount monthly.
Oh my God. Did oh my God. Did you hear the size that she said?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And if they said
Yep.
80,000, so that's a 240 to $480,000 a month in SNAP.
Mm-hmm.
Child. And then as soon as we point this kind of stuff out, then people gonna say you trying to, because these were Haitians, right? So now
Yep. These were Haitians.
We got Somali people in Minnesota, we got Haitians in Massachusetts, and
Mm-hmm.
when we point it out, then it's gonna be something wrong with us acknowledging that these people that we who have been lucky enough to come into, be welcome into our country to seek refuge, whatever they're coming from, and then they come here and they figure out a way to rob the system.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yep.
yeah,
And
I
just
don't
think of, and now we're finding this out. Just think of the amount of fraud that they've been committing, because this is not like a new thing, for the years, like let's say 20 years, right?
know.
All of that money that could have been used here in the United States. And then think
Yeah,
about our debt and how much all of that has contributed to that debt.
yeah. Think about all of the people who are true foundational citizens of this country who are told, because the guidelines have to be so low, to have to be whatever this amount is for people to qualify. Imagine if didn't have people getting it who didn't qualify. Maybe you could raise the guideline up a little bit. So now the grandma that's
We
here
have
on
way
Social
more
Security
money.
that's being
Hmm.
told because she gets $1,500 a month or $2,000 a month, she doesn't qualify but for $40 a month in food stamps. Maybe she could get more if we weren't sitting here, first of all, allowing people. And I don't know. I know for me, this may sound a little mean, but I'm a really be honest, and I get it when they seek an asylum or whatever the case may be. I still don't think that we should be giving them all of this stuff, and if we do because they just got here, I feel like give them a hand up for about 6 months, but then they don't need to be. And I'm just saying those who truly qualify for asylum or whatever the case may be, so they come in here with nothing. What other way they gonna eat?
How does any other person in this country? I don't. This is how I feel, right? I don't think that anybody who is not an American citizen should receive any benefit if there is any American who's not taken care of. They shouldn't be able to get a house if there's some Americans on the street. They shouldn't be able to get food stamps if the budget ain't enough. They shouldn't be able to get anything until Americans are taken care of first. Get in line behind Americans.
So, in all honesty, what you're basically saying is then they don't need to come here because they don't.
No,
This don't need to be a place where they can seek refuge because the reality of it is,
I want it to be um a difficult choice for them to come here because there's other countries they can go to. We're not close to none of them countries, right?
mm-hmm,
So when you seek asylum, you're supposed to go to the first safe country that you go to. A lot
mm-hmm,
of people just because they're fleeing don't mean they broke. It just means they had to leave where they came from.
mm-hmm.
So I just don't think that, because I saw a girl who lives in Thailand, and she said that she couldn't even get an apartment until they made sure that, like, she couldn't occupy the building unless nobody that was in Thailand wanted that apartment. But as long, or they couldn't, you can't get a job if Thailand's don't have jobs. You know what I'm saying? You can come here,
Hmm.
but you can't get nothing unless all of these people taken care of
Yeah,
first.
like they
That's
doing
what
a
I'm
lot of,
getting.
like, until the all of the originals is what they call it. All of the original or true citizens are not suffering. Like, where you're giving and helping them, but then you have people who fall in your wars and who are sleeping on the streets. Like, it just,
Mhm. And it's
until
not
you
even
figure
like
out
it's
a
a
way
few
to
people.
solve the problem of all of your, citizens, or even, I ain't gonna even say all, maybe give it 90%, but you have
Yeah, because
10.
I'm saying if you had a couple people, you could say you're doing okay. But when you got places like California, where the homeless situation is just getting worse and worse, they had the highest number of, and just whole neighborhoods is nothing but tent cities.
Mhm,
And then you had a nerve to have other people come in here and you house them.
mhm.
That's crazy. And some of those people out there with kids, some of those people work but can't afford housing because of the policies, right? So I don't think that anybody should be able to come here and get access to any benefit as long as we have the numbers that we have of homeless people, uneducated people, uh, uh, people who are going hungry, right? Because they keep telling us there's people that go to whatever, and many kids go hungry every night. Well, then how we
Mhm.
got money to feed other people, right?
No, I mean, I agree. Looking, Shahid in the chat said he agreed to it. May sound selfish, but hey.
It's not selfish. America feed a lot of nations, and the number one rule of survival is self-preservation. So we got to preserve our nation and our people in order to be able to help other nations. Because these people coming from these other countries, they don't know how to run a country, but people keep electing them, right? I wouldn't, because if they were such good leaders, then their countries wouldn't be shitholes. That's it. They'd have better governance in their country. They'd have a better military, a better government. Don't come over here telling us how to run our country and what we need to do in your country is so bad that you fled here. That's it.
Yeah, so much so that you coming here, but then you still coming here um to be a burden. But I don't know. I agree with you. I agree with Shahid. I agree with some of the other people in the chat. I do, but I do feel like the only way that they're definitely going to remedy that and give that, which I'm fine with that, is they have to do what we've been saying. Like, nobody can come in. No, right now we ain't got room. Ain't no room in the end.
Mm-mm. We need to be by ourselves for a while and, you know, come together as Americans before we keep letting these other people come in and with their politics and their
Hmm.
values and all of that. Yeah, we full.
We full. We full. All
Mm-mm.
right. Well, we're gonna go ahead. I know we stayed because we are definitely do what we got in the area. I have some stuff I'm trying to pull up on somebody, but we're gonna go to our next segment, and it is entertainment time. So, what have you found over the past week, Stag, regarding what's going on out here in the entertainment industry?
Let me tell you, the streets is saying that allegedly Tamar Braxton is a whore,
Wow.
sneaking around with somebody's husband.
Whose husband?
We just
Who
saying.
husband allegedly?
Allegedly, Yandy's.
Oh my goodness.
Hmm.
Did Mama Joyce ain't say this now? Did she?
No, it didn't come from the streets that she be on.
Okay. It ain't on those streets.
It ain't on those streets. But yeah, that's what's being said. And that's pretty much the. Oh, and I don't know if you watch the Real Housewives of Potomac. I'm not watching
I
this season,
usually do.
but
I haven't. I do know
you
Wendy
know Wendy and
Osefo
her
and her
husband
husband
going to
Eddie.
jail.
Um,
Allegedly.
allegedly, well, I mean, I think they've been not if they actually did it, but they were arrested for fraud. I mean, they got mug shots and all that. Now, whether or not they're
They're
actually
Nigerian.
guilty of what they're being accused of, that's alleged. But supposedly with some type of insurance scam or something like that. I haven't watched this season, so I don't know what they are touching on it. I like to kind of get so far behind where I get to, get to watch,
Kind of binge watch.
episodes in a row. But when I saw that, I was kind of eager. I was gonna go look, but then I was like, no, I'm gonna hold. What? I mean, did you
What?
hear like the information in the case, like how they said how it went? Did you hear that? Like they
So
said,
yeah, yeah, that they were stupid. They were just adding stuff on to the insurance claim. She was caught wearing her wedding ring on an interview that she
yeah.
said was so. They Nigerian. Are we surprised that they were scamming?
Well, she's a professor at whatever the college she's a professor at. She was a news pundit on, was it MSNBC? I mean, like, she's Dr. Wendy. They would be, but see, I think what happens in this, I think with everybody, but definitely with people who come over here in this country and they have this idea of what it looks to be successful here. And I think
Mhm,
that people want that success more than anything, so much so that they're willing to do things that could wind them up in jail just to have this image that they in their mind is what Americans, true successful Americans, look like.
mhm. And you know what? Somebody said that they think that that was it. They made the statement. I can't remember who, but they were saying you wanted because you remember she had her body done
Hmm.
and she wanted to like nobody had asked her to wear the latest fashions and things, and she wanted to do those things on her own. So trying to keep up with the Joneses, but they
Hmm.
had yourself locked up. So
Yep. She, it's, I don't know what it is. But it's literally, and I mean, we know we've had crime. We have crime in this country, all the time. But it is kind of crazy to me that the majority of the stories. Now, of course, you're gonna have those people who say, "Well, that's only coming out against so many immigrants because
mm,
the president that's in office has a problem, and the immigration is such a big deal, and they're just trying to put this in the forefront to prove that we don't need to be allowing, immigrants here."
oh no, but they told us that they wasn't committing no crime, right? We the Americans was committing most of the crime in this country.
Y'all black people.
No, because remember, you debate with the leftists and they'll say, uh, undocumented immigrants commit less crime than American citizens that's bringing all the drugs into the country and all of that,
Hmm.
right? It's us. It ain't never them. They good. Well, we
Hmm.
finding out not only are they not good, but they stealing a whole lot of money.
And kind of been flying under the radar. And then now that they're caught, which is interesting, then they want everybody to talk about something else.
Yep, yep. Or you're targeting them. It's hate. Because they immigrants. They don't
Yeah.
work with black people. I'm gonna talk about
Yeah, exactly. I mean, if don't do the crime, don't do this, something that people can eventually or possibly talk about if you don't want nobody talking about it. I mean, that's all I can really say. I don't know what else you think is going to happen. I mean, it's news. And then not only that, right now, news is so skewed these days, and it's so it leans according to whoever those particular sides back or stand behind. And so it's like imperative that you have to have like the YouTubers and independent media and people like us that, we may feel, we may like a certain particular party maybe more than the other, but the reality of it is we still bring things to the forefront and are going to be honest in regards to how, how we feel or how we view. Now, speaking of that, I do, and this is in the entertainment. What is your take? Because I've been watching so much. Rob Reiner and his wife got killed by their son. You heard about that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And everybody is upset with President Trump regarding his Truth Social post, about Rob Reiner, and basically, saying he don't think he was a good actor, and he had TDS. He suffered from TDS, and he
Mm-hmm.
um and he really
They
didn't say he felt, sorry, like he didn't say what everybody felt that he should say. And um Yankee, you want to come up and join the conversation? um
well,
Go ahead,
let me
tell
say
me what
this.
you think.
Like my if they haven't learned by now, my president don't give a damn about, especially this term being presidential after y'all tried to shoot it. Okay, he Rob Reiner was a part of the whole Russia thing that was trying to get him impeached and was saying he was Putin puppet, he was a Nazi, he was all of these things. And not don't expect for you can't expect for the president to just let all that go because the penalty for what they were trying to push on him was death. Okay, it wasn't just them removing him from office. He had a hate towards him, and he worked tirelessly to try to have him removed from office. So no, I wouldn't say nothing nice about him either. And that's just our president being real. Because if he said nice things about him, we'd call him fake because we knew he'd be lying. And then y'all would call him a liar too. So stop it.
Yeah, I agree. My thing is, of course, everybody is different, right? I'm not gonna tell
Hmm.
because that man. I watched a lot of stuff that man said about Trump. He called them rapists. He called all these things, that aren't nice to say to somebody either. And for for you to say, and call, I mean, stuff, just all kind of stuff, accusing him, saying he was actually guilty, just all these things that he didn't know. And of course, at the time, the man may not have known that he was gonna, he ain't know what was gonna happen to him. But the reality of it is, we all have to think about that. Hold on, I'm gonna try to see if I can pull it up here.
Hmm.
Give me a second. Yeah, so here it is. It says that, so reading it, it says a very sad thing happened last night in Hollywood. Rob Reiner, a tortured and struggling, but once a very talented movie director and comedy star, has passed away, together with his wife, Michelle, reportedly due to the anger he caused others through his massive, unyielding, and incurable affliction with a mind crippling disease known as Trump derangement syndrome, sometimes referred to as TDS. He was known to have driven people crazy by his raging obsession of President Donald J. Trump, with his obvious paranoia reaching new heights as the Trump administration surpassed all goals and expectations of greatness. And with the golden age of America upon us, perhaps like never before, may Rob and Michelle rest in peace.
He told him to
Okay.
rest in peace.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, if you know your president, like I know, and like I know
Hmm.
um, it fit to. I am going to say somebody passed away. I'm going to say they rest in peace, but I'm also going to say how I feel based on how they acted towards me, or how he talked and
Hmm.
acted towards him. Everybody is
Hmm.
different. That's not Donald Trump, and that's what was funny because they kept trying to, people like, especially Mike Johnson. I've seen him like several times try to ask him, and even JD Vance, and they're like, I would have said something differently, or even Scott, um, you know, the guy who's always on CNN. I can't remember his name. Scott Jennings. He said,
Mm-hmm.
you know, he understands why, you know, where Donald Trump was coming from. Of course, he would have said, I would have just not said nothing at all. He ain't telling him to say all this mushy stuff that he don't feel, but possibly not say nothing at all. But at the same time, he know Donald Trump, and that's not who he is to not say nothing. The way that everybody was pushing it, it was as if, you know, I'm just now reading the whole thing, and it
Mm-hmm.
ain't really that bad to me.
No, it's not. It was as nice as you could be to give condolences. He told him to rest in peace. But basically, I haven't forgotten, you
Hmm.
know, what he did. Like, we ain't cool, but, because he was a big director. He's a part of TV and film
Hmm.
history. He made some great movies. Don't like that he made some of my favorite movies.
I don't know
A
if you
Few Good
saw
Men.
this too. We'll keep going. Yeah, I mean, I didn't realize who he was because he was so old. Um,
He was Meathead from Archie
Yeah,
Bunker.
from Archie Bunker, right. I just because when I seen, I had to really, really look beneath the hair and all that on his face, and then I'm like, oh yeah, that's Archie's son. I ain't never know his name, so just being
Hmm.
honest with you. But so I think I want to, since we are with it's well, we're gonna go
I think he
ahead
did Saving
and
Private Ryan. He did some
yeah.
good
See,
movies.
I wasn't paying attention to him that much. I ain't gonna lie. But so you guys, we're gonna keep tracking the stories. We also gonna tell you guys something that we're looking on because we heard that now since there are several celebrity men who are upset with 50 Cent and how he is one of the biggest trolls, but have all his ducks lined up that we know
Hmm.
when he comes to getting people, and not necessarily saying they're truly defending the Diddy situation, but he will come at anybody. We heard that there were like four celebrities
Yeah,
that are
for
trying to get together and do a
Marlon
documentary
Wayans.
on 50 Cent and try to put his trash on blast. I guess that they feel they know. So we're
Yeah,
gonna keep our ear
Marlon
to.
Wayans, Ja Rule, um, it might be Nick Cannon. I don't know. It's so but I know for sure it's Marlon Wayans and Ja Rule's supposed to be participating, and they're calling it the Karma. The Diddy thing was called The Reckoning. Their documentary, The Karma,
Okay.
and they're supposed to talk about who he was before we knew 50. You know,
Hmm.
I
Okay, so
don't think
guys,
that
we're gonna
he's
keep our y'all know us. We're
different
gonna
than
keep
who he
our ear to
said
the
he
street.
was. I'm just saying.
We're gonna give you information and some of the trending topics, things that are not blasting on the mainstream media, but we feel that you need to know about. So we're gonna now go to our next section, which is trending topics, and I am going to just start with this video because I am not sure if you saw it, Stag, but I would love to get your firsthand response because I love to see it when it comes. It catch you off guard regarding this video and what you think. But okay, here we go. Let's see.
Hmm.
What you say?
Oh my
Mm-mm.
God.
Oh, let me mute.
Like on the ground right now, not just for you, but your fellow Somali Americans. And I've known many of them over the years. They're very hardworking, very decent people. And to hear the President of the United States call them garbage.
And many in Minneapolis and certainly in Minnesota are experiencing a state-sanctioned violence. We're seeing people being stopped, dragged out of their cars, people detained for hours, many who are citizens. And it is really terrifying. But what we are also seeing is people showing just how resilient and united Minnesotans are in defending their neighbors, documenting the actions, the unlawful actions that we're seeing from ICE agents, and we're seeing them come together.
So are we documenting the unlawful actions of people who entered the country illegally in your community, which is a question I'd had for her? And are you documenting the unlawful actions that you yourself took and some of the, allegations like marrying your brother, for an example? Are you
Okay.
guys ever doing that? No video footage, no audio tapes, no photos, no eyewitnesses. Why are you making this up? Okay, let's hear her explanation on that now.
I know that the Trump administration's immigration crackdown has become very personal for you, even though you're a member of Congress. You've said that federal immigration agents actually pulled over your son on Saturday and asked him to prove his citizenship. He is, of course, a U.S. as are you. The Department of Homeland Security says, and I'm quoting them, ICE has absolutely zero record of its officers or agents pulling over Congresswoman Omar's son, and have accused you of seeking to, quote, demonize ICE as part of a PR stunt, their words. What do you say to that?
Well, if ICE is saying that they have documentation of a single person that they have pulled over in Minneapolis, we would love to see record, because we've certainly, myself and the governor, have been asking them to share information with us on the ways in which they have interacted with Minnesotans, and they have not been able to provide a single information. So it's amazing that they're able to put out this statement saying definitely that they did not pull my son over when they haven't been able to answer anything else. And ICE has been known to lie when it comes to their enforcement.
Okay, well, we know you've been known to lie as well, according to...
Oh, hold on. Okay, so Stag, what is
So,
your
so I want to say
thoughts on
that
that?
my president called her and her friends garbage, not
I'm
all
sorry.
Somalians.
Mm-hmm.
But if you hang with her, birds of a feather. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what he was talking about. And why was she so pale? What's up with that?
I was going to pause. I'm gonna make this big because I want to just show y'all something. Because she's always trying to race bait and talk about how
Look how dark
it,
her
you
arms
know, and
are.
look at her hands and then look at the color of her face. Do you see her hands? Well, y'all need me to make it bigger. Let's make it bigger so y'all can see. Look at her hands and look at her face. And we have all watched this woman get interviewed. So is she trying to become who she says is so racist, or I guess her spouse, or is she lightening herself for him because she like, or was it a new makeup artist? I'm
That's
I'm just
makeup.
not.
Yeah, that's makeup. Cause we've been seeing her like 3 days. Don't know bleach cream work that fast.
I'm just gonna get.
Well, we can't hear her. Um,
Look at her face.
that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
I have to hit it. So
We can't hear it, Mo.
you can't hear?
No.
Oh Oh, that's why. Hold on.
And most of the Somalis in Minnesota and Minneapolis area are now U.S. citizens. He's talking about U.S. citizens.
Yeah, he's talking of Americans.
Yeah.
No, we are doctors, we are teachers, we are entrepreneurs, and we are elected representatives of our state. And so these vile comments and this sort of creepy obsession that not that he has on me and Somali Americans really is dangerous, and it's beneath the office of the presidency.
When President Trump attacked you again a few days later during a separate event in Pennsylvania, his statements were actually met with cheers from the crowd, and many of them were shouting, "Send her back." Their words, "Send her back." What goes through your mind when you...
Okay, hold on. Before we get to that. So she said that they are lawyers and doctors and entrepreneurs. Okay, I'll give her.
Okay. So, what do you think about the key thing for me is her talking about her son was pulled over, and then them you see Wolf pointing out that ICE actually came out and said that they did not that they did not they didn't pull her over, and then for her son over, and then for her to try to say, do they keep record of everybody they pull over, because they're asking them for stuff. But then actually DeVore says the same thing. Do you don't think that if her son got pulled over in this instance, he wouldn't have pulled out his camera? Why isn't he talking about what happened to him, and it's only coming from her?
Of course, reporting it as if it happened simply because she said so. I don't believe that it happened. I think that she's still trying to deflect attention away from the fraud, and she's trying to make it seem as if they're just being targeted for no reason.
Mm-hmm.
And it's amazing that when there's rhetoric or something negatively said about any of the Democrats, it's dangerous and it puts their lives in danger. But they can say all kind of stuff about the president and the administration. Don't matter. It's wild.
And they aren't acknowledging, it's not, matter of fact, it's a trending topic, the Brown University shooting. Right now,
Mhm.
they haven't caught the person yet, but the guy that they've kind of scrubbed his page, they've scrubbed information on him from the
Mhm.
school site and all that. And it's been said that he said something, he had like a kind of a manifesto, this particular guy. They still ain't saying it's him, but
Mhm.
everything that they're doing to seem like they're trying to get rid of everything that this particular guy said. And one thing I know for sure was something against Republicans, and he
Mhm.
either put it on a wall or did something. And so it's very interesting that a lot of the mainstream media, which we know leans left, is not talking about that. They're not beating up on the fact that this is a big public university that gets billions of dollars a year in federal
You hear
funding.
how much they sitting on?
Yes, and they don't have cameras good enough to be able to catch a person. Did you hear or even see like the police chief? Like everybody seemed like
The
they in
president?
Mayberry. The
Yeah,
president of
the
the
president.
university was like, she got up
Mhm.
there and said something, and she didn't have no answers. And even the reporters was getting on her like, they didn't brief you. You didn't talk to nobody before you came up here. And
Right.
people are not alive.
Mhm.
So it's again because they're not talking about it. And if you guys haven't seen and been looking and following the Brown University mass shooting, you need to start looking into it, because we need to be getting again on these politicians to find out why they are not, because these people in Providence are now just out here. They telling people, oh, they go to work, go to school, go to this and that, but y'all ain't caught this person. And he obviously a fool.
Mhm. Mhm. Well, the picture that they showed, uh, I don't know.
What? No, say what you
I don't
think,
know.
girl. We free over here.
No, I'm just saying, it's just the picture that they showed. It just seems like it seems to me with the way that things are going down that the uh, university or local officials might have known that this was happening to
Yeah.
push their narrative, out of, and it kind of backfiring a little bit, you know.
Right. That's what I get too. That's what I'm feeling. Um that some stuff is probably they may have had some warning signs on that campus. Now maybe not
They
the
said that they had him on their radar.
yeah.
The FBI, they had him on his radar, and they, oh no, maybe that was the guy in Australia. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't
speaking
know.
of that, that was something else too. And I think the dad survived, right? In
Hmm.
that shooting. So he's being
Oh, and the
charged.
Euro guy, he didn't kill that guy. Remember when I thought that he shot him? He didn't. The guy went back with his sister, dad, and picked up another gun.
Yeah, that's what I said when I was watching. I was watching like, why don't shoot him? Like, but he probably thought he might get in trouble, so he didn't. But I seen him.
Let me tell you something.
I had
If I'm
blew his.
like that and I get a firearm, you, y'all don't even worry. He ain't walking away. He ain't getting about. I feel bad about putting him down.
And I would have to take the time I got to go into the police station and talk about it or whatever. But and I wouldn't even knew that it was on national TV and somebody caught it on camera like that. But I know he probably was thinking like, can he legally, kill the man?
Yep, good.
Yeah, I mean,
Well, they don't ain't no tell because they took their gun after that mosque shooting. So there's only 3% of Australians own guns now, and
yeah.
those probably refuse to turn theirs over.
I ain't gonna lie. He would have been down. Now, I don't know if I necessarily would have took him out, but I'd have got him in both his legs and everything where he couldn't run. That's why I go my butt to that doggone
They keep him
range.
alive, so they question him. Who knows?
And
But he definitely
the people
shoot
would have been
nobody else.
fighting for him or whatever too. So I mean, I know I wouldn't have been thinking about that because I wouldn't have cared because they were literally, and then it's just sad because then we're sitting here. Matter of fact, we're gonna say that because you know how people are trying to say, oh well, no, these people, these young people, they're born here. Just say, for example, these immigrants who don't like this country, and they're talking about they don't like this country, and they're like, but no, they're born here. I don't know anything else, and we keep saying, but your parents, your grandparents, they raise you up. We generally raise up the children in the direction and in the mindset that we want them to go. And this is a perfect example of a parent leading their child to some craziness. So for us to act like, well, not us, but a lot of people to act like they're so oblivious to people indoctrinate their children. How many kids of us, just say you grew up going to the church your parents say go to? You ain't necessarily had no say so. You believe what they told you to believe during that time until you got old enough to do something else. So to act like it's not possible for parents, even though they in this country, to raise up America haters
Hmm.
is to me asinine and stupid.
Or it's naive to think that everybody who comes here comes because they love the country or that they want to do good in the country, right? Over the last 4 years, we had an open door, which was a perfect opportunity for those who wish to do us harm to come on with no push
Mm-hmm.
and just hide out till, you know, their perfect time. So I don't know. I
Yeah.
think that we close our borders for at least 10 years
Yeah.
and get out any doesn't align to our value, that is not productive in our country,
Mhm.
and um, anybody who didn't come here legally, anybody here who has broken our law, it's time to get rid of all, and
You say so.
especially those who
You
share
gonna
our
be like
values.
this at the dock. Bye. Goodbye. No, I do feel you. I truly feel like we are. I feel like just now in 2025, kind of getting in a space where us as Americans, core Americans, are figuring out how. I mean, we still have those that blame all the stuff from 200, 100, 200 years ago on all their problems, but I feel like that is lessening and lessening, and people are, just kind of finally moving, together, figuring out how to have a life, together, do what you want, get what you want, and then now here we go dumping some more problems in the pot before we truly get to enjoy what it feels like to be in this country and not always at constant turmoil with each other as Americans. But
Mm-hmm.
as I say that, I realize that's the reason why this is happening and all these people are being brought in, because they don't want us to ever really, the powers that be that benefit in all ways, financially, politically, by the people constantly being in turmoil and chaos with one another. They don't want that. if
Yeah.
if it wasn't as much crime, then you wouldn't get the money from the government from the crime programs that you stealing from.
Mm-hmm.
If it wasn't immigrants, then you wouldn't get the money from the immigrant pro. So
Right.
it's
They
all about,
incentivize
when it's
all
all
of the
said and done, coming
problems
coming
because
back to
there's
them.
money in it.
Hmm.
But that brings me to this point, right? Because this is something else that I saw on my way on. I gotta find the video and send it to you. Our Secretary of State Marco Rubio said that the days of us appropriating funds and then it being handed over to these NGOs is over.
Marco Rubio said that.
Over. Yes, indeed. He
You know
said
I'm
that
doing that.
that we will no longer be funding all of these NGOs and like letting that money pass through them when we can give the money directly to nations. If we're going to help a nation, we need to directly get and let them disperse and see what they do. We don't need all these NGOs coming into their country messing around.
Hmm. You know what that makes me think about? That video that you sent me, that this is something else and that people aren't talking about, that
Mhm.
in regards to why this Democrat Party is so heavy on pushing getting this money and getting this additional funds for this ACA.
Mhm.
And then to look and see, and it's not just them, because there are some Republicans as well, but look and see how much these politicians are getting from the pharmaceutical, from the insurance,
The
and like to their
insurance
campaigns.
company. Mhm. Yeah. They get a whole lot, and all the fraud that's in it. Did you hear the new thing that they were saying that with all the fraud that they finding in the ACA, it's crazy.
Well,
It's crazy.
I
It's
can tell you
crazy.
this. I can definitely, because they were saying social security numbers were being used more than once. Um, you can.
They had people signed up who weren't even getting the benefits or didn't even know they were getting the benefits, but
Yes.
the insurance companies were still getting these subsidies for this person being signed up.
Yes, and I can tell
Dead
you
people.
100% how it can happen, because one of the key things is, um and this isn't benefiting a person then, right? So if you sign someone up who doesn't know that they're on it, all that benefits
Mhm.
is the insurance company, because the insurance company is still going to get that whatever subsidy that person qualifies for. And then because they're
Mhm.
not checking and confirming whatever your income is that you put in before they decide what your subsidy is, all they ask is, do you think this is going to be your same income in 2026? I mean, most people are going to say yes, because they want the highest subsidy they can get. And then if you're the criminal who is trying to get this money back, because they pay these brokers, these insurance companies pay these brokers and all kind of stuff to sign people up to get to run this money back to them. And so they want them to dump another $85 billion. Oh, we'll have to talk about that next episode too. Oh my God, I watched the hearing on that, and all I can say is, Stag, is we be getting frustrated when we're doing our our lives on TikTok, because the people just don't listen. and they just keep saying stuff. But I understand why they're like that, because the politicians and the people that they follow are exactly the same way. I sit and
Mhm.
listen to, I can't think of his name, the little bald head Democrat guy with the glasses. He will keep repeating a lie 1,000 times, even though it's not true. And he knows it's not true, and they will
Mhm.
say to him, like yesterday, he continuously said, "The people are they're gonna use their subsidies. People will literally die, and they're gonna." And the guy was like, "They're not losing their subsidies. People already got their subsidies. All they're losing is the COVID expansion, which only reduced things by 5%. So you want to
Mhm.
increase the cost for the other 93% of the people of this country who don't get insurance on the ACA to benefit the 7% by 5%."
Mhm.
And he
Yep.
kept there. No, they would answer the question. You want, and then you're gonna answer the question. Okay, I've claimed my time, and I'm just like, oh my god, I couldn't ever be. I be saying I want to be in, but I couldn't be none of that, because you see how we be screaming. I could not sit there and be letting them people just be lying like that.
That's
But
the
this one, I
thing.
can't think of
And
his
they
name. He's
repeat
out
it
of.
over and over.
He told the one
And they'll show that
Yindel,
sound
whatever her
bite
name with the
and
I.
then
He told her she was
they'll
a liar.
be repeating it.
Yeah, and that's exactly because they watch. They don't use their critical thinking to realize that both people just said two different things. This one got proof. This one just saying something out their mouth, and they just run with what they want to hear. It's
Mhm.
literally stupid to me.
Mhm.
But we
So th-
go
there
ahead.
was one. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Go ahead. I might rant about it. Go ahead.
Okay, okay. Because I was just about to say, well, guys, because with our time that we are on, we are at, I think I've gotten people say it's one of their favorite, it's actually a part of their favorite moment of this podcast. Um, because y'all don't know, my lovely co-host has some amazing fans, and they love her smarts, but they also love how she will give it to you straight, no chaser. And which is
Mhm.
why we definitely thought to add the stags. I just can't moment. Ah, yes. So I don't know, y'all. I actually like her to surprise me, because I be liking to hear her go off and spit her facts and stuff too. So I'm not sure what she will be, what her I just can't moment is today. But guys, welcome to our next segment, which is the stags I just can't moment. Y'all buckle up, because she just can't. Go ahead, Karen.
Well, I I just can't because I'm hearing like last a few days ago there were people celebrating Deontay, that Abrego Garcia was released onto the streets of America by a judge who apparently wasn't looking out for the public safety interest. And I just don't understand, and I can't with Americans who will advocate for someone to break into our country, break our laws, traffic, be abusive towards their spouse, lie, and do all of these things, bring in gang banging activities from their other country. And there are Americans that will yell that they deserve due process when he wasn't worried about due process rights when he broke into our country. He admits that he is here illegally. He has had all the due process that he should be afforded, but yet this court is still trying to protect him. But they may have put themselves in a trick bag because I keep trying to tell y'all, Deontay, that these judges don't have jurisdiction over this immigration thing. They are only to hear habeas corpus proceedings and limited scope there. So they got outplayed by those whose job it is to actually know the immigration law, and that would be the Department of Homeland Security. That judge removed the order of removal that Garcia had since 2019, and he thought that that meant that he couldn't be detained. But the ICE agents or Department of Homeland Security said, "Well, hey, fine, you take away the deportation order, we'll just issue another one. And now, if he wants to appeal, You don't get to hear it. It goes to the Board of Immigration Appeals and takes you right on out of that. That is why they shouldn't be enjoining themselves in immigration proceedings. And the fact that many of you Americans don't know these laws, you're like, he needs this due process, and you're advocating for the lies. Uh, you may need to go and read the INA and other immigration laws, and learn a thing or two about being an American and getting these criminals out of our country. That's it. And just because a judge says something doesn't mean they're operating in integrity and they're right. That's why we have appeals court. That's it. Okay, I'll just go on some audience now. Are you there? But that is, they were celebrating out on the streets,
Th-
talking about how you're gonna keep fighting America. Yeah, get your ass up out of our country.
Thank you so much for look. Thanks. I'm sure. I hope your favorite Democrat is on here, listening and learning. But sometimes people are smarter in their head than they really are, and when they get so set in their minds to what they want to believe, it don't matter if the truth comes slap them in their face, hit them upside the head, drag them down the street. They still don't want to hear it. So, but
Hmm.
we do. Those of us who know that you be knowing what you're talking about. You actually be. I said I'm gonna get you a table and put it on the corner, put it in New Orleans street. See if we can get you to make some money predicting stuff. Let's make some money off of you. Shoot, Miss Cleo could do it, or we gonna set up a phone line or something. But it's all gonna be in the areas that you love and that we know that ain't nowhere in the world you ain't took your time to research on it. So again, everybody,
Hmm.
if you are watching and you like the and you enjoy the Stags I Just Can't moment, we do break it up in clips. We break the episode up in clips, and usually we always get a clip of the I Just Can't moment. So make sure that you are sharing it on all your social medias. Make sure you share this Proud Mary podcast with your friends and your family. We are trying to grow and grow and grow. We like it better here. We're also on Rumble, so we're I'm sorry Rumble because we stream it live to y'all too. We just be talking like we only on YouTube, but we are on Rumble too, and then we are also found on Spotify under podcast and all of your favorite podcast platforms. So if you are not yet following the Proud Mary podcast on Rumble and on all of your podcast platforms, especially Spotify. Please take a moment and do that before you leave us today. We are trying to not trying, we are going to take this thing bigger and bigger and bigger. I think this is episode 5. This is our 5th week doing it. I am so proud of me and you because we have encountered audio issues, video issues, all kind of things, and we do not give up. We don't quit. We work our way through it in the meantime, and of course, as we grow and get bigger, we won't have to do this ourselves. We'll have a whole team and we can just be the talent. But in the meantime,
Right. We just show up and be
yes,
pretty
between
and
time, we're going to
smart.
keep making it do what it do, sharing good information with the people, entertaining and educating the people all at once. And with that being said, we will go to our last segment of the day, and that is the Mo's Money Minute. Okay, so my Mo's Money Minute is only a minute, guys. So it's gonna be short and sweet. We are now a little past the middle of December. So I just have one tip for you. Get all of your documents together at the that you can get together now that aren't going to change before December 31st, and then be ready when your W-2 comes. Things that are going to be important that you need to have no matter if you have a business or not. you need to make sure that you get your, if you give donations, get your donations receipts together. If you purchased a new car, you need to make sure that you contact your finance company and get from them a statement as to how much in interest you have paid on your car for this entire year. If that car is made in America or final assembly in America. So people may say, well, I have a Honda. Well, Honda has a plant here, and if the final assembly of that Honda is in America, you are going to be able to write off up to $10,000 of interest that you have paid on that car. And we know these days interest rates are kind of high, so it may not be hard at all to be able to get up to $10,000. And the great thing behind this is it's because it's an above line deduction. So that means that interest will be deducted from your income before you get to finalize and figure your total taxable income. This is a way that one big beautiful bill, the president, the Republicans who are pushing, these are ways in which we know that come this upcoming tax season, you are going to see more money in your tax refund, or if you normally owe, you are going to be owing much less and potentially now getting a refund. So those are just one tip, a couple tips for Mo's Money Minute, things that you guys wasn't able to do prior to the one big beautiful bill passing. So if you've given a charity, get all of your receipts together. You're able to write off up to $1,000, no matter what, if you itemize or not, as well as if you purchased a new car in this year, January of 2025, starting January 1st. Get a statement. You can get a report from your finance company and get the total amount of interest that you've paid on your car. And I hope this helped you guys. And thanks for watching the Proud Mary podcast. And this has been Mo's Money Minute.
Wish I had the applause machine.
I got it over here. I just be focusing on all the different stuff at one time. We really do have the same sounds.
So
Go
I
ahead.
got one more thing. Well, two more things. Uh, our president has put a complete blockade on any oil tankers going in or out of Argentina. I mean, not Argentina, Venezuela. So he about to starve that regime out.
So, it's from my understanding, the people want that, correct?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And the other thing is the Epstein files should be released Friday. So y'all can shut up when there's nothing there.
Oh, I did want to talk. Because what is your take on that? Because when bonding them asked for, when everybody was asking for, and they was acting like that Trump them didn't want to release it, when they asked the Florida judge and they asked New York judge about releasing the grand jury transcripts, they said no. Now, why do you think all of a sudden now they're okay with, now they saying yes?
That is a very good question. I don't think that a lot of people know that a judge did. I don't know if it was in Florida or New York, but one of the judges did agree to unseal that grand jury testimony.
New York. It was New York, but New
Okay.
York said no at first, and then
Right.
now the Florida judge is saying that they are too, but they were the original one that said no.
That means that they lied. That's all. They were doing what they said they were. And probably also because it is a law that it all has to be released. Because so there are rules to classifications and stuff, right? And so you can't just be hiding stuff just because, right? It's got to be certain stuff. So if there's nothing in there that warrants it being sealed, they're gonna have to unseal it because it's law,
Right.
all transparency.
So I just looked. Today is today the 18th or the 17th?
Today is the 17th.
Okay, so I looked this up the other day. Today is the day that Bill Clinton was scheduled to testify before the House Oversight Committee.
Mhm. Yeah, I'm sure he didn't show up.
Obviously, that didn't happen.
Mhm.
So, Let me find out what the update is on this situation because he's supposed to be today and Hillary's supposed to be tomorrow.
They asked to postpone again, I believe,
Well,
to January.
supposedly, um, they were told that if they did not, so the committee leadership was threatening contempt of Congress proceedings if they didn't show up or propose an early January date instead. So let's
Mm-hmm.
see. Um, the dates have been pushed back. They were initially subpoenaed to testify the 17th and 18th before the House Oversight Committee. Those dates are no longer the operative ones. The committee rescheduled both depositions now. Bill Clinton is January 13th and Hillary is January 14th. This rescheduling came after the Clintons' legal team said they couldn't appear in mid-January. Well, why would they allow them to give them the mid-January date when this was the second time that they already had pushed it back in the first place? Prompting Chairman James Comer to set new dates and warn of consequences if they don't show.
Didn't they get consequences the first time?
Well, no. Remember, it was saying that potentially if they didn't show at this one, they may get
Mm-hmm.
consequences or they have an opportunity to push to January. So I guess
I
now they're
bet it
pushing
be
to
some
January.
consequences and repercussions if they don't show up.
So it says Comer has explicitly said that the committee will initiate contempt of Congress proceedings. So he's saying he will initiate that if they don't appear for their January depositions. And then the
Mm-hmm.
Clintons' attorney have pushed back, offering written sworn statements. Look at this.
No,
Offering written sworn statements instead of in person testimony and
no.
arguing that they don't have relevant firsthand information. Comer's position is that in person
We're gonna find
testimony
it
is
out.
necessary.
We're gonna
So,
find out how much you got. Okay.
right.
Um, I just sent you a video, and we're not gonna have time to go over it now, but you can look at it
I will.
with the SBA fraud announcement by the U.S. Attorney in Florida. It's fraud everywhere. And Jack Smith testified in
How do you
Congress.
think they're finding this fraud?
Could it be Doge?
Uh, and could it be that all of these people that were saying, why ain't nobody getting arrested? Like people just find stuff and you automatically just arrest people tomorrow. Like you don't put your case
Mm-hmm.
together.
Yep.
And Elon,
Yeah.
they was lying. Ain't that what they said? They was lying. Ain't
Yeah.
nobody
He went
doing
find
all
his
this. Ain't
husband.
nobody doing all this. Even though it has been proven every year, especially with Social Security. Social Security gives an actual report every year about how many cases of fraud have been found. And this is prior to Doge even being Doge.
But about that ACA fraud and stuff that they found in there, I think it's on the Government Accountability's website. The Office
Okay.
of Government Office of Accountability. I think that's what it's called. They put it on their a report on their website.
Okay.
Go look at all the ACA fraud. And just this is my crystal ball, right?
Uh-oh. I'm gonna do a
Democrats
sound. Let's
are
see if we
going
got
to
a
shut down the
what are them
government.
magical sounds.
Yeah, they're going to shut down the government. Prepare yourselves. Don't spend all your money on Christmas because they're gonna shut down the government. And they're gonna say,
Yeah,
right
they
after Christmas.
supposedly presented that Republican health care bill supposedly today from what they I know yesterday when I watched that's what they were saying because they're gonna go on break on Friday. But of
Mm-hmm.
course we know that the Democrats aren't gonna vote on it.
Mm-mm.
But of course they have to the end of January to get everything solved. Now what word on the street is that if they do try what you're saying, that
Mm-hmm.
the Republicans are a little more closer towards basically doing the nuclear option and just doing what they need to do.
Okay. Yeah, because we ain't gonna keep doing this. We ain't gonna keep playing with y'all. We
You
got some
know,
stuff to do.
because I feel like this, and you can tell me what you think. I feel like, of course, yes, it may be an initial sting. They're going to, just like with anything, right? They talk about it for a period of time, and then it kind of
Mhm.
dies out once people see that all the wings that they put on it didn't allow it to fly like they wanted.
Mhm.
So I feel like, yeah, we know us doing the hosting on TikTok stuff, we're gonna hear they dictators, they this, all these things that we're gonna hear for a period of time, just like we heard about Epstein for a period, and then we heard about
Mhm.
they don't care, they snapping and
Mhm.
insurance. We hear it, then it disappears. So I feel like that's what will happen. But then, because we're now able to implement all of these, the budget, the appropriation bills, the one big beautiful bill, people will, like you said, when our money and when our finances and when the economy is good and better, people gonna forget all
Healthy
about
about all that other stuff.
that they
I think
had to
that.
basically
uh,
force what they wanted to happen. But what's crazy is the Democrats do it all the time. Like, they push, it's just they are used to, I feel like, the Republicans being soft. And
Yeah.
now the Republicans got a boss that is the leader of
Mhm.
them, who don't bend when he don't have to.
Mhm. A
And
party
so
leader. Yep.
they're used to bullying or holding stuff over their head or trying to put them down, all the things that the Democrats do. And then, the Republicans play nice all the time. Kind of like what I was saying
Mhm.
when I went off on my live the other day. How we'll sit here and see people doing stuff we don't like, but we don't intentionally go and be ugly and nefarious towards them. But they'll turn
Mhm.
around and be some of the ugliest, name calling, horrible, people. And the Republican Party has kind of been like that too. But now they realizing, like, you're not gonna out bully, in a sense. You ain't gonna get the bully to be nice. You're not,
Mhm.
by being nice. You're going to have to out bully the bully.
So I think that this is a bigger ploy of the Democrats, and it is to prevent the spending cuts that come with the appropriations in the big beautiful bill. Because as long as they keep signing the CRs, we still spending at Biden level spending,
Yeah.
and that's what they don't want to stop.
And it causes us to stay in this state of looking like, the inflation and the economy is bad, all this, because we are not truly implementing the one big beautiful bill, as well as
Mhm.
what the Republicans want to put
Not
forward
fully.
in these appropriations bills. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So it
The
will
cuts
force
that
us
they
to
wanted to
stay
do.
in an economy that we didn't like.
Mhm. Mhm.
And but
But he
everybody,
doing it
but their
though.
minds are so simple that they don't realize. They like, well, this Trump is Trump. No, it's not, because we're not implementing anything truthfully of this administration. Now, of course, the three appropriations that they passed, and then the things that are in the one big beautiful bill, like the tax reductions and the no tax,
Mhm.
all of those things, yes. But you haven't even gotten the opportunity to see what that's going to look like and feel like. And they
Mhm.
already know that that's gonna feel so good. They sure don't want the other 9 areas that they haven't passed bills on to now be something that you like, because they know then it's
And you
over
know,
for them.
if they shut down the government end of January, that affects income tax. So then people won't get though to see what.
Well, I can tell you, because that happened that other time. Remember, they
Mhm.
keep they keep the people like they just did, because we had the deadline for October 15th during this last shutdown. They keep the
Mhm.
people that need to work to push the tax refunds out and to do that.
Mhm.
So they ain't
Okay.
they ain't gonna be able to they hope
Okay.
so,
Because
but they
that's what
ain't
they
gonna
don't
be.
want to happen. They don't want
Yeah, we
people
know
to
that's what they
see.
want, but you already know Scott Bassett, because he's definitely, that's what he definitely keeps saying. He already know. When he be standing cocky, like, I know when these people see these refunds and see how this stuff, or see their tax bill, and they are gonna be like, oh, now, and then that's just more money. And it's so crazy, because it's like, why wouldn't you want that? Because now that's more money for people to pour into the economy. Maybe they can now, start a business, or maybe they can invest, and then you're going to
Mhm.
get the Trump accounts for the children that's going to come into play.
Mhm.
Like, all of these things that will boost and better our economy. But I truly believe that a lot of people just really, they want to complain. They're
Yeah.
committed to the
And I don't
problem
understand
more
how
than the
anybody
solution.
can roll with that side over what's going on over here with policy. Like I don't see like what are they offering? Because what he's offering is tangible and not some we're gonna do this thing that we can't measure the success in, but you just spent a lot of money. The things that Trump is doing are tangible things that you can
Mm-hmm.
see.
And the things that
So,
they're telling, I was talking to a guy today, white guy, and we were kind of talking. I think he was a little shocked at how I think, right? But it was a great, great conversation. And we were just saying how it's just the fact that they rely on people not taking the time to learn information for themselves. That is what
mhm,
they rely on because it has proven to get them what they want. But what is now happening is, i.e., us, who kind of just went with the flow. More and more people are waking up and they know it. They hear it. They see it. They see us on social media. So they are now like, "Well, we got to get some more people in here for them because they ain't falling for the trick no more." And then if they
mhm,
switch, this is going to be back like it was when we first even started this country and they were free and able, to vote. They gonna be
mhm,
all back over here, and we really ain't gonna have. So we got to flood these borders and get these other people in here and make ourselves seem so great to them. Allow them to commit fraud. Allow them to get all of these things. So and then no voter ID. So then they can come on, slide on in here and vote, and we can get this country back and keep it all under welfare. Because that's all they want. They just
mhm,
want us to be all welfare recipients. They want to be the only ones wealthy.
mhm.
And I say this all the time, like I have a problem with a party who tells you to dislike wealthy people. They are wealthy, but which means they know how to get wealthy, but they ain't teaching you or telling you how these wealthy people got wealthy. Only thing
Mhm.
they offering you is things that keep you below the poverty line.
Right.
That's the only way you benefit from anything from them is if you stay below the
If
poverty
you
line.
got to go through them to get it.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
And
You
they
can't have
control
it
how you
unless
eat.
they
They
have to
control where you
distribute it to
sleep.
you.
They control every. They control where you live. They control what you drive. Everything. Then they control you. And for a
Mhm.
group of people who always seem like they so rebellious and they so want to fight, but you always want to be under the control of someone else. You always are looking to someone else to give you what you need to survive and become better in this country.
Mhm.
It makes no sense.
Yep. Not for me either. But Democrats don't Democrat.
Yeah. I'm just gonna keep praying. I pray every day that we people wake up and if nothing else, just start thinking more for themselves, wanting more for themselves, realizing the way that they're gonna be able to get it is going to be through their hard work, their thought change, and their willingness to see things from different perspectives, and quit blaming other people for why you ain't where you want to be and don't have what you feel that you want. As soon as I feel like the sooner more people do that, the better off we all will be. So we really okay, we froze. People like us, we got to be willing to stay in the fight, and even when it get hard, and even when they get on our nerve, we can log out. we can press mute. We can take a moment, but I believe God puts certain gifts on people and certain requirements on certain people who He knows actually can accomplish it, even though it may not be easy. Because you look at Jesus, what I'm sure it wasn't easy for him. Lord, imagine how hard it,
Mhm.
so we got to keep being out here. But my sister, I want to thank you again for another amazing episode with me. I appreciate you
Yay!
being the part of this duet. I think we definitely did better, a lot less difficulties. I figured it out. If you notice, like where to mute, what to do, I get a little slow behind sometime, but I can't wait to see and get this one sliced up and see what it does. Anybody who is here watching us, if you have not already subscribed, if you have not already hit the notification bell, please do. Do it here, do it on Rumble, do it on Spotify. When you on our TikToks, make sure you see if you see any of our shorts come, share them, share everything. The only way we gonna change the way people outcome is to change their thinking, and the only way we're gonna do
Mhm.
that is by giving them good, reliable information. So I think, yeah, I know, Yankee. I'm supposed to remember to mute my mic because I realized that I can hear it. But thank you, super producer in the background. Look, in the manager. Oh, there you go. There go the manager. That's right, manager. Jabo. We thank you. We
Mhm.
thank y'all. We thank our family. Y'all our family to us. We thank y'all for supporting us. Stag, what do you have?
Thanks.
Look, we put this in the middle of the week because we figured, okay, we would not be as tired. We know what time we start, but I feel like the last 2 weeks being stag both been hanging on by a wing and a prayer.
Mhm.
Literally sleepy, but we made sure that we, like we said, we pushed through because it's a purpose behind doing what we're doing. And again, I am Monique Je, and I thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of the Proud Mary podcast. And
Yes. And I'm
this,
92 Stag, and thank you for joining us. And we will see you out in the internet.
yes, and remember, we give it to you nice when we can and rough when we
And
must.
rough when we got to. Yeah.
And that's what we call Proud Mary. Good night, y'all.